What's up guys, I'm Nathan and in this video I'm gonna be showing you guys the top 5 it's actually top 6 gem characters in Roblox Anime Dimensions, because in the tier list video I've got way too many comments asking me this and I'm replying to each and every one, so I figured I might as well just make a dedicated video for it where I give an in-depth explanation on all of these characters. If there's any other specific video like this that you're looking for, just let me know in the comments, because I kind of have quite a bit of free time now. So you're gonna have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, of course. The 3 of these characters are actually going to be like a whole setup for beginner players, and the remaining 3 are kind of like the pro gem characters, you could say, the ones that people that aren't like far in the game or at least have played for very long probably shouldn't bother using. And we also have a last one that's going to be like stat specific, and this character, we'll start off with him, is going to be Gojo. He's stat specific because he requires 2 specific stats at a really high value to make him probably like come in 3rd place at least. But I'm not gonna put him there because I don't want to mislead any beginners that actually have this many gems, because he is very easily obtainable. However, the stats in question are not at all easily obtainable, because you need over around like 50% critical chance and like 100% critical damage. And the main reason that he is actually good when you have these stats is because his ultimate is actually going to be burst damage, meaning if you crit on it, you can probably do like 2 to 3 times the average ultimate damage. However, all of his moves are quite difficult to use, and he is definitely not optimized for beginner players, and I definitely would not recommend you to use him if you're just starting out, or even if you don't have the required stats, even if you're a high level like me. I mean, even I have definitely not even close to enough stats, so Gojo is actually not that great for me, because his first 2 moves are very small projectiles and they don't like expand if you don't hit the enemies. Like Infinite Gojo has similar things, but the thing is, they at least like you can still do damage even if you don't hit the enemies, but if you miss even by a little bit, the small projectiles won't explode and you won't get any damage. Curtain does not give you iframes, and you have to go really close to the enemy to do damage because it's full AoE, but the AoE is very small, so you're quite vulnerable to being hit. So anyway, that's why he's there in stat specific, but he is, because of his ultimate which does burst damage, if you've got these particular stats, he's quite a decent character to use every now and then for fun. Now in 5th place, I'm gonna go ahead and put Misaka or Biribiri, because, well, she's quite a decent all-rounder gem character for 1600 gems. I mean, there's nothing insanely special about her except like maybe the fact that her 3rd move gives you extra speed and mobility. Some of them say that she's better than Primordial. I would disagree with that, but still, in a gem setup for beginners, I would definitely recommend this character as one of your assists. I mean, she's not a great assist, but like in raids, most likely you would die every now and then, so she's not bad to have as a main. Her first ability actually has a very fast cooldown, making her decent for time challenge, but it doesn't have a huge AoE. It's got a 4-second cooldown. The second ability gives you an extended M1 but has a fairly long cooldown. The 3rd ability will give you extra speed and a bit of damage, kind of like Gojo's Curtain but a lot better. And the ultimate, that is Railgun, it's okay as an assist because it's got a lot of range, but not the best because the AoE isn't much and it's very easy to miss enemies that even if they're close together. If there's just too many enemies, it probably won't hit all of them. So that's why she's gonna be in 5th, but still one of the characters in the setup. In 4th is gonna be Diablo or Primordial. Now he's not the best character to buy, at least if you're looking to just get a lot of stat collection points, because Diablo in fact can be obtained for free from Slime Dimension. However, if you're very low level and just want a really good character to help you level up faster, I would definitely recommend buying Diablo or Primordial over Misaka. Mainly because his first skill is kind of similar to Misaka's but with a longer cooldown. Like Misaka's move is actually better just because of the cooldown. The second ability is kind of decent. It kind of like the way that the attack works is somewhat similar to Sung Jin Woo's second move, but obviously way worse in terms of damage. The 3rd ability is kind of like a watered down version of Esper or Accelerator, because basically what it's gonna do is give you increased M1 range, which actually increased range for all your abilities, kind of like Luffy, and also it's gonna give you additional attack, kind of like kind of like what's his name? Astolfo, yeah. He gives you a little bit additional attack, and that's why using his third move along with his ultimate, that actually makes him really good, because his ultimate does quite good damage even without the buff, and it's got a pretty huge AoE, doesn't keep you locked in place for way too long like Rimuru, and when you get the bonus attack, it's actually a lot better than Misaka, and that's why I'm actually putting him above that. So yeah, that's going to be his position. In third place is going to be pretty much the main character that a beginner team should have, and that's going to be Astolfo or Best Boy Summer. You don't really need any particular stats to make him like really OP. He's actually in one of the glitch setups, like the Eren, Yoriichi and Astolfo. That's the thing, because Yoriichi with kind of has this kind of glitch that makes Eren spam more than he's supposed to, especially when you have, well, not especially, like you have to have the Kurumi pet, so he's potentially meta in that case, because you can get like 2 billion damage or something when you use that glitch, but I'm not gonna like really count that because that'll probably get patched sometime soon. But he's still in third because he's quite an amazing main for Dimensions, and in fact he's better than quite a lot of the raid and boss rush characters, just because he's got quite a bit of mobility. His first ability is actually kind of like Kokushibo's or Yoriichi's dash. It basically, well, it's a dash. It gives you a dash for quite a decent distance, plus you get iframes, which is quite good. The second move, I mean, it's Beach Ball Bash. You kind of go in the air and slam something down, so you don't get locked in place for too long, and it does decent damage. The third skill is the good and the bad thing about this character, because the third skill, unlike Esper's and Primordial's buff, it doesn't do damage at all. It doesn't do even the least bit of damage. However, it's better in terms of the support that it gives, because it's gonna give you some attack and crit damage or chance. I don't remember, maybe it gives both, but like it gives you crit and for 14 seconds, and it even applies to your teammates, so it's a really good support, the skill. However, like I said, in Dimensions it's not the best, because you're working with just 3 skills, because you can't really, I mean, the third move does not really do any damage at all. The ultimate is also quite good. It's a full AoE Whirlpool. It's full AoE, does quite good damage, kind of like Kokushibo's Catastrophe, but with like worse damage obviously, and it's movable just like Kokushibo's move, and that's what makes him quite decent for Dimensions. He's got a pretty good kit to use in Dimensions to clear it fast, provided you've got good stats, and even if you don't, he's quite a good unconditional character. Then in second place and first place, there are 2 limited characters. I'm sure you already know who they are, because yeah. Second is going to be Milim, because she is actually somewhat conditional, but I'm not going to put her in stats specific, because it's not exactly stats per se. It's the thing is, what makes Milim really good is the fact that she gives an absurd amount of pet energy compared to other characters. And the thing is, that's really good, because that would mean that your pet can use its skill a lot more often than it would had you use another character. And she is mainly good when you use her with an extremely good pet, and the thing that she's best with, or rather the pet that's most optimized for her, is going to be Kurumi, who actually reduces your cooldowns, so you can literally spam with Milim, even though Milim's like moveset isn't anything special, damage isn't anything special, but once you've got like a legendary or mythical pet, she's definitely a lot better than the other characters below her, and that's basically what makes her good. So yeah, it's conditional, but it's also quite lenient. You could, like, any very good pet could make Milim quite good, and Kurumi is of course the best one that you should aim for. You can get Kurumi from the regular pet, the regular raid capsule. Just hope you don't get Aqua instead. And in first place, you probably expected it, it's going to be Nezuko, because overall Nezuko is just better as an all-rounder compared to Milim, because Nezuko is actually quite a good assist as well. Milim is just a good main in raids if you don't have like Sungjin Woo or a character like that. Nezuko, on the other hand, it's like in a gem setup, if you happen to have these unobtainable characters, you can use her as an assist, because her assist is good. Like, her skills, even not counting the fact that her ultimate resets your cooldowns of all of your moves, even not counting that, her skills actually do really good damage. And they also, well, like they do good damage, and they also have quite a fast cooldown. And she's also quite good with Kurumi, but doesn't absolutely rely on Kurumi to become good. Like even without Kurumi, she's still significantly better than third, fourth, fifth, and even Gojo. And with Kurumi, she's like pretty much like one of the best characters in the game, probably like almost as good as Esper, even though she's just a gem character. So if you got her when she was unplayable, well, that's pretty lucky. And that's pretty much it for this list, this ranking, I guess. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know if there's any other kind of specific video that you want to look at, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.